Friends and loved ones, there is yet another new foundation on the block. This is the Vieve Skin Nova Complexion Balm. I was lucky to receive this upon a one-on-one meeting with Jamie herself in London when I was there after being on tour, and she selected me this color, which actually was a bit light at first, but because I've got a little bit of summer sun, it's perfect. This is the shade 210, and I'm going to demo it and tell you about it and tell you about why it's different to other things, because it's different to all the other foundations, in my opinion, that I've launched lately. It is a very dense, creamy, sort of firm serum. Like, it doesn't drip. It's not a serum at all. I don't know why I just said that. It doesn't drip. It stays firm in the position until you hit it with a brush. I'm going to use it with a brush. I'm going to use a Spectrum Up and Comer. This isn't out yet. This is the Spectrum 25. It might not be the name actually, but it's a clean brush, and I'm just going to get this product into the bristles and start sweeping down to the face. Now, when I first felt this on my skin, I was like, this is like a perfect true hybrid between a skin tint and a fuller coverage foundation with loads of glow. Perfect foundation for someone that feels that a skin tint is too light, that feels like maybe a full coverage foundation is too heavy. This might be the most amazing foundation for you. This is just a one quick layer of the product, and this is it close up. The radiance is bonkers. Do the rest of my makeup but without using concealer, because I just want you to see this by itself, because I don't know, maybe tell me in the comments below, are you wearing concealer and foundation, or are you kind of wearing one or the other? All right, so I'm going to build the coverage just to show you how much I can build the coverage of this. And as you can see, it sort of just sweeps on the face and blends in pretty easily because it is like a luminous, slightly sheer formula. I always like to put foundation over the lip to show you the amount of coverage that it has, because if a color match is good, which this is, it's a little warm for me, but I like it because I'd rather be warm than cool, because I don't want to look gray. If I put cool foundation on my face, I look gray. The benefit of me showing you this gives you the sort of coverage perspective. Now, this is another foundation that launched this month that I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge foundation of both of these. I'm going to show you this on the lip. This is the Easy Blur foundation from Huda Beauty. I'm going to use just a clean brush to tap this in, just to show you coverage level is quite a bit different. This is blurring, full coverage, still has radiance to it. I believe they're doing some tweaking of the shades. Yesterday, Huda put something up on her Instagram, I believe, talking about how one of the shades got a little bit mixed up in production. That's really that on that. Check her account if you want more information on that. Now, with any dewy radiant foundation, I always like to take my fingertips and just press it around the areas where I typically will get a little bit more buildup of product, sort of gathers into the fine lines and crevices of my face throughout the day, aka into the nose here, under the eyes, to make sure that it's not too thick in their areas, forehead lines, and the nasal labial folds just here. That kind of takes off that little bit of excess that you probably don't need in the first place. If you do have any kind of breakouts and pimples and you want this amount of coverage on the majority of your face, I would say take a matte full cover concealer and take a small little eyeliner brush and just go in and refine any little breakout areas that you want to conceal. I'm going to continue with the look. This is the Anywhere Caffeine shade of the Artist Color Pencil in Extreme. I Make It Forever. These have mad longevity. Add a little bit of a KJH brand Up and Comer. This is my white balance is doing something weird to me today. I think it's this grey t-shirt and my slapped back hair. Okay, so just blending this in. Doing a little bit of Plum Pataka Zari Eyes eyeshadow by Kulfi Beauty with, oh my god, that was, okay, don't panic. Here's what you do. You wipe off all of that product onto a towel. I look like a squid. Buffing it out vigorously before it sets, and then you could also take another brush, but quickly blending that in so that it doesn't linger on my face. Wow. Has anybody seen The Wedding Singer? Okay, remember that scene, Drew Barrymore on the dance floor, dancing with like a 12-year-old kid with a bob and curly hair, and he grabbed her ass? I am that boy today. My hair is giving that boy's hair. Okay, so that's what you do if you over apply. You can also take a Q-tip. Really, there's no right or wrong. You just have to not panic. And sometimes you have to use your finger. Now I have to figure out how to get it out of my eyelashes. Safe to say this goes a long way. I mean, this is crazy. I just picked up a little bit more with my brush to apply more on this side. This product spreads so far. Talk about stretchability. I love using that word when it comes to makeup. Stretch concealer, I think, is sort of the inspiration of that word, or the origin of that word in the cosmetic space, because you can really stretch the stretch concealer from Glossier quite wide and thin. But I love using the term from an education standpoint. In the middle of the night, I took my Invisalign out and I put them on my bedside table. Why was that? So gross. For powder, I'm going to use a little bit of the Tower 28 Palisades Pink. I'm a little bit warm in my base, so I'm using the pink to cool me down just a little bit. I'm just sort of stippling it on wherever I want the product to be, taking it into the eyeshadow as well to set that, and sort of giving you the opportunity to see, you know, what this complexion product from Vieve looks like when it's got more of a matte finish, which is still beautiful. So it really just depends. If you are really dry, you might not need to do this step at all. If you're really oily, you might need to do this step more than me. So that's just, I'm a big believer that most of us can use the same amount, the same types of products. We just would prep our skin differently depending on what we need. I'm gonna do a little bit of bronzer, and by a little bit of bronzer, I mean probably a lot, just because I feel like I need a little bit of structure in the face. Like, typically I don't use a full coverage, even though that wasn't a full coverage foundation. Typically I don't use a foundation over the whole surface of my face. I like to just do concealer under the eyes, nose, around the mouth, and so on and so forth. And so I feel like whenever I do have something over the full sort of surface of my face, whether it be sheer or not, I think it sort of gives you this, like, you know, finish that feels sometimes one-dimensional. Even if it isn't full coverage, it can. So that's why we then build back in the shapes and the shadows with a bronzer or a contour or whatever. Don't love this eyeshadow on me at all. I love the finish, I love the formula, I don't like the color. I don't think I suit a lavender eye, and maybe it's just also the lip is too sort of sweet and cheruby. It doesn't mean it's wrong if you like this, it's just me and my preference. I think I like a little bit more of a contrast of things. Like right now I feel a little bit like, makes me look more older than what I am. But I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to do some mascara. This is the Kjaer Weis mascara. I really like this mascara for the fact that it has a very short handle on the wand, or length on the wand. What that does for us is it allows for us to push really up on the lashes. So if you like if you like a good lift in your lash, looking for a wand that doesn't have this extreme length to it is possibly a good idea. You know, what's the sort of the telescopic lash, I think from L'Oreal, might have that really, really long wand which bends upon application, which sometimes doesn't give you the leverage and the sort of pushability that a shorter wand would give you. That might make sense if you've tried those things, but it might not if you haven't. This always sort of fixes my sort of enjoyment of a look. It just adds this like sweetness and this sort of pop of bright that I like in my complexion. It's Truth in the Skin Glazing Blush product, Skin Glazing Glass Finish Glow Powder Illuminating Effect from Nabla in the shade Truth. I think I said that. And I also love to put this over my lip, watch. Gorgeous product. You see, it just added like a more intentional 80s kind of frost to the face, which therefore then makes it cool. It's not too safe. One last little thing I'm going to do, because I have to get on some phone calls before I bounce out of the house today, is just do a little Endless Cacao in the original formula around the lip edge. The reason why I'm not doing the longer wear formula is because it's darker and I don't want my lip to go darker. I just want my lip to feel a little bit more cool toned at the perimeter. So that's why I'm using this one. And that's it. Pop any questions below. This foundation is very beautiful. It is very different to the Huda Beauty one. And if you love Vieve, you should give it a try. And it's great. Okay, bye everyone.